Welcome to the Militia gaming community. I'm Trigger, and today I've got 4 Rumble builds for you. These are builds for B, A+, and S. All the Rumble races are taken care of. Let's go! Real quick before I get into the video, if you're an aspiring content creator yourself and you're looking to learn from someone like me, you can do so by going to Caliber Gaming. It's a YouTube channel that I've just started, and I'm putting out all kinds of content based on my experience over the last 4 years. So go there, subscribe, and it's one of the only places that you're gonna get one-on-one feedback, one-on-one coaching for absolutely nothing. It's free. All you have to do is watch the content and join the Discord that I've got linked there. That's it. So hit the channel link in the description if that's something that you're interested. All right, let's get into this video. So we've got 4 builds for you today. I've got a build for each of the Rumble races that you're gonna be doing. Actually, not each of the races, but each of the tiers for those races. So first up on the list, the B tier, Colorado. All right, first thing, let's take a look at the engine. For this one, I've got that 308 horsepower, 3.6 liter V6. I believe that's the stock engine. So just take a look there. That's the engine you want. The parts are going to be Sport Induction, Sport ECU, Sport Fuel System. We've got Pro Exhaust, Elite Screw Supercharger, and the Sport Nitrous. And then we've got the off-road parts. So we've got the off-road suspension, the sport brakes, and the off-road tires. Next, I've got the Pro Clutch, the 6-speed gearbox, and the Elite differential. And then I'm running NOS Drift and NOS Jump. You're going to be doing a few jumps in that B tier race, so I like NOS Jump over grip. There's not as much grip cornering in these Rumble races. There is one of the builds that will be using grip, but not on this one. So this is jump and drift. As far as the handling goes, I've got it set to 20% drift, steering all the way up, downforce all the way up, traction is off, and drift entry is on gas or brake tap. And for this truck, usually it's gas. I use the brake tap to increase the turning angle when necessary when I'm already in a drift. So mostly gas, but I leave it on or so I have the option. All right, let's take a quick look at what this truck can actually do in the B tier Rumble race. If you don't want to watch the full race, there are timestamps in the description for each of these tiers. All right, next up is the A tier Raptor. Now, I've given this build out there before for a race build. I had some road parts on it, and I thought that was the best situation for racing on the road for A tier, and actually does pretty good. But with the off-road parts, it performs very well. I mean, I usually gap people left and right. Now, there could be a build out there because we're still just getting into these rumble races that's actually faster than this Raptor, but for right now, this thing is the most fun for me. I love being able to drive the trucks and have a reason to be in a big truck like this. So let's get into this. The engine that you're going to want to grab is the 599 horsepower 2.0 liter inline 4 hybrid engine. This one you can build up to 879 horsepower with the Pro induction, the Super ECU, the Super fuel system, the Pro exhaust, the Elite Roots supercharger, and the Pro nitrous. Again, like I said, you're going to have off-road parts on the chassis, so you've got off-road suspension, sport brakes, off-road tires. Now, those are both Elite suspension, Elite tires. For the clutch, we've got the Sport clutch and the 7-speed gearbox with a Elite differential. And once again, for the auxiliaries, we're gonna have nitrous drift and nitrous jump. These two lower tier rumble races have quite a few jumps in them. Now, there are jumps in the other ones as well, but I think grip makes a lot more sense for those higher tiers. And for the handling, I've got 30% drift, I've got 5 on the steering sensitivity, plus 5 again on downforce, traction is off, and we've got it on gas or brake for this Raptor. And I would drive this thing almost exactly like you drive the Colorado. Use gas as your drift entry, and then you can use your left trigger or your brake to snap the angle a little bit more. All right, let's get into a race with this Raptor. Again, if you don't want to watch the race or the full race, you can always skip it. There are timestamps in the description. All right, next up is one of my favorite cars of all time, and this one is going to be an A+ tier. It's the Testarossa. So for the engine, we've got the 385 horsepower, 4.9 liter flat 12, which I believe again is the stock engine for the car. Then the parts are Sport induction, Elite ECU, Sport fuel system, Sport exhaust, Super Roots supercharger, Super nitrous, and then again off-road parts. So you've got Elite off-road suspension, Sport brakes, Elite off-road tires. That's pretty consistent with off-road builds so far. It just seems to give the most traction and the most grip in the corners. For the drivetrain, we've got the Elite clutch and the 4-speed gearbox with the Elite differential. And then for the auxiliaries, I'm running nitrous grip and nitrous drift. Now, driving this car is much like a grip build on the road. You have to drive it like that, otherwise you slide too much and you just lose time. But if you take your time in the corners and you build grip NOS and you use your burst correctly, you definitely can fly with this car. It is insane. Now, I don't know if it's technically broken. I don't think it's broken, but it's very fast. Like, it's one of the fastest cars I've driven in A+, and that's pretty exciting. And for the handling tuning, I've got 100% grip on this one. Steering sensitivity at +5, downforce at -5, traction is off, and drift entry is on brake tap. Once again, drive this thing like a grip car. So here, take a look at this race, and then we'll get back to it with the final build of this video. And the last build of this video is the 180SX in S tier. Now, I've already given this build out. I did it on a previous video, maybe like 1 or 2 videos ago. It is a monster of a car in S. I will give you the build again. I don't want to show you any gameplay on this video. If you want to see gameplay, there was tons of it in that other video. I just feel like this is a little bit redundant, but it is one of my favorite Rumble builds, and so it had to make this video. So for performance, we've got the 366 horsepower 2.0 liter inline 4 engine. For the engine parts, we've got Elite everything. So for these first 4 parts, we've got all Elite. Then we've got an Elite screw supercharger and Elite nitrous. We've got Elite off-road suspension, Elite brakes, and Elite off-road tires. We've even got the Elite clutch. That's why this thing is a beast. It is just powerful. We've got the 4-speed gearbox and the Elite differential. Now for the auxiliaries, I'm running drift and jump for this one. And to be honest with you, you could run grip as well and then try to drive it more like a grip car, but it drifts quite a bit, so I tend to use jump instead of grip. Alright, here's the handling. We got 40% grip, steering sensitivity at +5, downforce at -5, traction control is off, and drift entry is on gas or brake. Alright guys, that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed these 4 builds. I've been really enjoying these Rumble playlists, and if you guys ever want to play with me, the invitation is always open. I'm not even joking. If you see me online, you can just join my party. And if you can't join my party, it's because we're not friends yet. So send me a friend request. I accept all of them. And then when you see me online, just jump in my party. If there's a reason I don't want you in there, or if I'm recording a video or something like that, I'll just leave and start a new lobby and you'll know that I don't want you in there. But if I'm just racing at night, jump in, feel free. Everybody wants more friends to play with, and I want more money in these races that I'm grinding. So yeah, just jump in at any time. All right, guys, thank you so much. Shout out to all the Heat 5 members of the channel. You guys are literally amazing. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.